Thank you to the Center for American Progress. I wanted to come here, frankly, because we haven't agreed on every single issue in the past, so I'm really grateful for the opportunity. It is a coincidence of scheduling that I find myself giving this talk a few days after the United States took military action in Iran, 2 days after the elections in New York, and the day before the Senate likely votes on President Trump's big, beautiful bill. But all of that helps clarify why I feel the need to do this speech in the first place. Put plainly, as a CIA officer and Pentagon official by training, I believe that the single greatest security threat to the United States is not coming from abroad. It's the shrinking middle class here at home. I believe deep in my bones that if we lose our middle class, and by association, the American dream, we will lose our democracy and eventually our country. This is the existential threat. As a national security professional, what do you do when there's an existential threat to your country? You get to work on a war plan. You face up to what's not working, you change course, and you ruthlessly pursue the economic security that's critical to our survival. So in short, leaders have a responsibility to respond, to chart a path forward, and to not just complain from the sidelines. Earlier this year, I had the opportunity to give the rebuttal to the State of the Union. I said that most Americans share 3 core priorities: a strong economy, a strong national security, and a resilient democracy. Those are 3 of our most basic tenets as Americans. Later this year, I'll give 2 other speeches, one on security and one on democracy. But today, I want to lay out what is an economic war plan. Because any successful vision of America must start with an economy that works for everyone. Okay, so back during my war planning days at the Pentagon, the first thing we did was lay out the specific problem we are trying to solve. The middle class is shrinking. That's not a political statement, that's a fact. In the years after World War II, the middle class exploded. But over the last 50 years, the share of Americans in the middle class has fallen by nearly 20%. And the total wealth and power held by the middle class has been cut in half. Add to this inflation, and it is clear why people are frustrated. In 2025, money and opportunity is skewed towards those who already have it, not those who are striving for it. Middle-class families, blue-collar folks, young people, we all can feel that something is off. We're all questioning whether the American dream will be an American reality for us and for our kids. This core issue unites all of us, moderates, progressives, and everything in between. And that unity is critical if we ever hope to succeed in a plan. Things aren't off because Americans have stopped working hard. It's because government hasn't lived up to its side of the great American deal. That deal, which we all automatically signed up to, is this: government has the responsibility to set the conditions for success, and the American people have the responsibility to work hard to achieve it. That deal is failing because politicians from both parties strayed from ruthlessly expanding the middle class. They've been lured by special interests, their own re-elections, and niche issues that have more to do with themselves. And it's been compounded by the bitter fighting that goes on every day between Democrats and Republicans. The result being, even as the economy has changed a lot since World War II, our government has not kept up. The things you need to succeed, your job, your school, your healthcare, are outdated and broken. And if the election in November told us anything, it's that it's not just Trump voters who are frustrated with the government. It's Americans across the board. As a senator from Michigan who just won on the same ballot as President Trump, I've seen this frustration firsthand. Michigan literally invented the middle class, the very basic idea that you could work at an auto plant and afford the car you were building. But today, Michigan is also a place where people feel like it's harder and harder to get in and stay in the middle class. Let's take my town of Holly, Michigan. It's full of people who aren't doing as well as their parents and their grandparents. They can't provide for their kids what was provided to them. Dad worked at the Ford engine plant and could afford a fishing cabin up north, but his son can't afford one. Dad could take his kids to Disneyland, but the son can't take his kids on vacation. Down the street from Holly is Flint, Michigan, where it's gotten harder to get in the middle class in the first place.